Alright guys, we're back to our chart for PSEi weekly overview. This is for February 13 to 17. Now we've discussed about PSEi last week on the possibilities for it to either be a double top formation, or we're looking at an ascending triangle. Now, for the past week, we've seen a sideways movement, so we're now leaning towards the ascending triangle formation, as you see it on my screen. Let me just discuss this real quick, because there's no really action going on for the past week. So we'll just have to recap on what happened for the PSEi. So you see the yellow area right here. This is our new support zone, support area. This was a gap before, back in May 2016. So we filled that gap. Now this becomes our support, which is actually also a neckline for a double top formation back in March to April. So that's where we are looking at. So price action actually respects support and resistance zone. If you could see right here, we are having this resistance area for this double top, and we are also creating a possible double top on the same area. Okay, but then again, we still have to see whether it could move down in this area on this support zone, or possibly break down the neckline to complete the double top formation. So far, price action is moving sideways, and it could be that it's forming our ascending triangle formation. If you look at my right here, so possibly by next week we could see a bounce back to resistance. So that's what we're looking at for next week's move. If ever that would happen, we would either look at the break out from that resistance, or it could move past down back to our support zone, which is a possibility. Remember when I talk about ascending triangle, it's not ultimate reversal pattern. That depends on the previous trend. Right now we're looking at an uptrend for PSEi. So we basically we broke down this downward move. We created a new high, and a new new low. This is a new higher low. But then again, we were having problems piercing this resistance area. So we basically are looking at this consolidation, ascending triangle, hoping that we could break out from this zone. So far, that's what we're looking at. We're just looking at the flat sideways movements, no really big action moves for this week and possibly by next week. So that's for PSEi. Now I'm doing a real quick view for some trending stocks in the market. So I'm gonna talk about just 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So let's start with PA, Pacifica Incorporated. let's check out PA. Okay, PA had been moving really fast the past days, past week since Friday. So this was the move. This was Friday last week. So this is a really huge move from last week's trade. So people might ask whether it would be good to go in Pacifica. Let's try and check. I don't have any positions on any of these stocks. I'm just reviewing this for the sake that it's trending. It's the most talked about stocks for last week. So let's see, for you guys who are not yet familiar with our channel. I used moving averages. I strongly use that to look at trends. So this is my exponential moving average 13, moving average 20, moving average 50 for the purple, moving average 100 for the green one, and moving average 200 for the black colored trend. So looking at this trend, it's almost impossible to read this kind of chart, because if you look at the candles, there's no it's hard for you to read this kind of candles because it's like flat line. Okay, so we depend on our moving averages. So if you look at the price or the action back here last Friday, February 3rd, you can even see whether it's gonna break out so sudden, matambakan siya kalit. Okay, our moving average of 13 crossed under our moving average 20, which is our first sign of sell. That's a sell signal, generally sell signal for us. And then Friday it had a bullish engulfing candle, and then we have two doji candles right after it, and then another we have a reverse hammer, and then it suddenly crossed our moving average, exponential moving average 13 cross our moving average 20, and it's huge engulfing bullish engulfing candle after that crossed over. So it's no man's land. This Pacifica corporate is no man's land. If you look back in this 2015, okay, 2 years back. So we have to pull back or look at this area right here and see where we could possibly see a support zone. So let's just tag those previous area where the stock reversed. Okay, so we have 0.569 cents. So let's go back. Okay. Now this is where we look at our zone. So this is now our support zone. This resistance back in 2015. This is where the prices stop from moving. So we've pierced, or we've crossed over that. So this right here, this area right there, is now considered resistance turned into support area. So what you can expect for Pacifica next week, possibility is a continuation of the trend, since we just crossed over moving average 20. Our exponential moving average just crossed over it. That's our buy signal. So anywhere in this area, it's price to buy the stock, and we can expect this to follow through this big move. Uh, just be careful whenever you see this crossed again. That's where prices might move down. But then again, you see it, this is now our support zone, so most likely prices, if ever it would go down, would just go back to the zone that would probably move sideways, right? So just to double check, let's add more indicator just to filter everything. Just always try to look for second opinion. Use other indicators so that you have congruence on your analysis. So I used Ichimoku Cloud. I heavily use these indicators. So if we look at Ichimoku Cloud, we do have a valid breakout. Our Chico span, this is our logging indicator. We've actually broke out the cloud. Everything's in place. So most if you're not familiar with Ichimoku Cloud, if you see this Chico span right here, the black line, this is a lag span, and then the price action. Chico span, that's our 25 52 period 52 period, or that's the that's how far our lagging span is. Usually if you see this move sideways, your price action also is moving sideways. And the thing is, if this moving span would not cross this price action, if it would continue to move up, tendency is the stock is still strong, has a strong trend to go even further up. So if you, for example, this one right here, if you could see this area right here, this move, the lagging span is moving sideways together with the price action, and then it did cross the price action, it just moved up. So that's also an indicator for you that the trend is really strong and it could possibly move up. So that's for PA. We're looking at the bullish bias for PA so far. Remember, this is our support zone area, so we're looking at how much it is. Is it 0.57T and 0.0620? So that's for PA. Next, let's talk about Alterra Capital Partners. Okay. Talk about a really strong downtrend. Now for Alterra Capital Partners, I guess this is trending because there's a lot of people who might be naipit for the stock. They probably had been wishing for the stock to move up, since Alterra was, a lot of people did gain money from Alt before last year for this price action right here. Then again, majority or a lot also has been losing money because it has been a downtrend and people are wishing it to bounce back. Sorry guys, but it wouldn't happen. You know why? Look at let me take out Ichimoku first so I can explain it even further. Now remember, I said that I strongly use moving averages because these moving averages for me is so reliable. that you could actually look at the trend and how it's moving. So far it's moving against you, because moving average 20, and first sign of that is our moving average 20 and EMA, exponential moving average 13. The cross under this point right here, that point right there, that's a sell signal, and it did recover, so it continued to move down. So that was your first signal of moving out. You cut your loss, you suck up your loss, and live another day. If you're still holding on from that point on, then you probably had been losing money back in August until now. Because if you look at moving averages, moving average 20 and EMA 13, there's no crossover after that, and we reached to the point where our moving average 50, which is our midterm trend, midterm trend for the stock, our moving average 20, our short-term crossed under it. So this is another sign for you to really move out. It's telling you to move out from that position already. You've lose enough money. If you're still holding on from this point on, then you're totally fucked. Your stock, your position, your buying power probably be depleting by now, and you're still holding on. So it continued to move down, and to the point where this is our moving average 50 crossover, to the point where our moving average 50 crossed under our moving average 100. So this is now where you are if you're still holding on the stock. Okay, so it's moving down. Now you had this elation feeling that the price is recovering at this point on. Okay, this point right here, as you see it bounce back. We're looking at trends. So basically you are still on the uptrend. This is just a pause. Okay, this is just a slight pause from the downward movement. Every movement, whether it's bullish or bearish, there will always be a pause. That's a consolidation area or correction area. At this point, that's where you are. So you were a bit happy to see it move back up, and that's just a pause. I'll tell you now, that's a pause. If you look at moving average 20 and EMA 13, there was a crossover right here, but generally we're still on a downward movement. You need to validate this crossover here as well from other indicators. That's why you use Ichimoku Cloud. Enough from that. At this point, if you see this crossover right here, but then again there is a huge cross under of moving average 50 and moving average 200. Okay, 200, that's our long-term period. So the price action crossed, or the moving average crossed that. This is a huge selling point. If this is bullish, this is called our golden cross. If this is bullish, golden cross, meaning to say when moving average 50 crossed over moving average 200, that's what we call golden cross, meaning to say price action would continue to move up for bullish. Now where we reverse that, moving average 50 cross under moving average 200, that means to say that price action would continue to go down, which it did. Alright, which it did, and it never looked back since. Okay. So right now we'll probably be losing a lot of money since August. So that's Alterra. And now fast forward to last Friday's move. oh, there's a huge engulfing candle, bullish engulfing candle. We're now looking at the crossed over moving average 20 and exponential moving average 13. There's going to be a crossover. Now this is where I said that we need to validate this price action. So I pull out moving average 20. So this is our Ichimoku cloud. I'm pulling out Ichimoku cloud. No, there's a potential for EL alt for this point on. Why? Because our lagging span is about to cross over that price action. Okay, so most likely, for those who doesn't have any position in alt, this is where you are trying to consider buying in for Alterra Capital Partners. So those who are looking at ALT, this is now the lowest possible price out could be could stop or could move. This is now where prices could reverse. Now, as I mentioned, we need to validate that. So let's move. Look left. Structures leaves clues, as what Jason Stapleton from Forex Trading Market would say. So we move. Look at where we bounce back and see where a possible support from previous structure is. So yep, it's not really quite there. We have a bit of an area right here. So this is our area of support. So we have a resistance, and then a breakout of resistance, then bounce, a correction movement here, this area, which is now a support before it bounced back. So that's now our valid support area. So alt should need to hold this price, 6 pesos. 6 pesos. Alt should hold this with our lagging span showing really good sign of continuation. Once it's gonna pass through price action right here, then we have a valid reversal, or a valid uptrend. Keynote here is that we still are looking at Ichimoku cloud. This cloud, red cloud right here, this is our resistance zone. So this would serve as our resistance area. So most likely price action could move around here and then move sideways a little bit until it breaks out. So this is just an outlook for alt. Now let's go to Alco. So Arthalan Corporation. Arthalan Corporation has been moving really good. The sailing for the stock is easy peasy. Moving average are good. Looking at this trend right here, the position is uncanny. Look at moving average 20, 50, 100, and 200. They're on harmony. So we're looking at the continuation for Alco with a little bit of correction. So we might be seeing some pullback before it could continue. As I mentioned, I've always mentioned, in every move there would always be a pause, a correction. So that's where consolidation might happen. Arthalan is a no man's land. We cannot see any previous structure, so we need to anticipate where it could create support. Alright, so so far lagging span is too far from the price action, so we might not see any reversal still, as long as it does not touch your price action. So yeah, for Arthalan, you could still buy the stock. You could perhaps move or wait for any significant pullback. If ever there might have some pullbacks, you can test buy alt if you want to join in the trend. You can test buy or wait for pullbacks. For example, just for example, if it would pull back around like here, or let's use our Fibonacci retracement. So let's try to start from this consolidation right here, consolidation area. Okay, most likely it could pull back about 20%. That's usually the case. Rarely does it happen that it would bounce or pull back around 2360. Majority it's either 38, 20, or 50. So that's a pullback. So far, our alcos moving are really fast. So either way, look at, if you're trying to wait for pullbacks right about here, but then again, it's unlikely so far. For my bias, for my own personal bias, I would still buy alco at this point. I'll do an test buy 20%, 20% perhaps of my 20% of my position that I'm willing to trade for alco, and see how it goes from there, because remember we're in no man's land. We don't have any previous structure to look at. So that's for alco. Let's move to Doug's Harbor Star Shipping. Harbor Star Shipping, similar to alco, still moving really fast. It's also no man's land. Okay, still no man's land, still the same alco. Look at the trend. Look at the similarity of the trend right here. Moving average 20, moving average 50, 100 and 200 are moving in harmony. There's no cross unders still, so this is still a good opportunity to buy for tugs. If ever there's a pullback, we might be looking at this area right here. This will serve as our support zone for tugs. And let's try to look at the Fibonacci retracement tool where that point is. So that's 3820. Okay, as I mentioned, that usually that is where a pullback could happen. So that's 20%. So if you're waiting for pullbacks, most probably around here, that's where the consolidation or the relaxation phase for thugs. But then again, you could still test buy, same with alco. So they're both similar in nature. So let's go to our last trending stock for last week. Lodestar Investment Holdings. Okay, Lodestar. It's now it already moved into a bearish area. Okay, why I'm saying so, because let's remove Ichimoku. Let's move to our moving averages. Okay, first of all, we have a cross under of moving average 13 from moving average 20. We've seen that December. Now we're looking at moving average 20 cross under moving average 50, which is our second signal to move out before you're gonna get fucked. Now we're about to get fucked right here. Moving average 20 is about to cross moving average 100. and most likely that moving average 50 will follow after that. If you see that cross under, then you're totally fucked if you still have position for Lodestar. Okay, and to validate that, we need confluence, as I always mention. You need that confluence, and we see that moving or a price action already pierced below or broke under our Ichimoku cloud. Ichimoku cloud, remember this, this could serve as support and resistance. If this is on a downtrend, this is a resistance. If you're trying to move up, this if it's a downtrend, yeah, it's a downtrend, this is support. If you pass support, then it's already a reversed trend. The trend already reversed. If you're moving up, this is a resistance. If prices are moving upwards, so this is now resistance. So for Lodestar, it already moved under the cloud, so you're seeing continuation of that bearish move, and you're just waiting for your money to, you're just waiting for your money to be depleted if you're holding this position. All I can say is that if ever you still have, you could pull it out. Anyway, this paper loss, you suck it up. You have to choose whether you would like to lose more, or you cut now, look for opportunity to grow your money and recover that loss. That's up to you if you are trading. Okay, if you're trading, if you want to go long term, you could just save up your money, wait and see what the future might be for Lodestar. Look at fundamentals. Lodestar, if the value you're buying right now is undervalued, or the stock is undervalued, and you see 20 years from now the stock would be profitable, then go ahead. But for trading, you're losing money at this point, and if you're trying to, if you're trying to gain money and recover those losses, you see a lot of opportunities right there. Okay, so that's all for now. Hopefully you guys liked this video. You've learned something out from it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, Askal Sa Merkado, and I'll see you on the next video.